the same. You're the biggest culprit.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Just let it be known that the council was in executive session with personnel and legal matters. So welcome to the council meeting, Borough Green Tree Council meeting for December 5th, 2022. Please take a moment and have a special moment of silence for some personal intention you may have, and we'll follow that up with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Like a roll call, Kim?
Ms. Barron? Mr. Lindsay?
Here.
Mr. Panza?
Here.
Mr. Ray?
Here.
Mr. Romanovich?
Present.
Mr. Troisi?
Present.
Mr. Tintori?
Present.
Mayor Shea?
Present.
Thank you very much. Now, first up, I'd like to have a motion for approval of minutes of the November 7th, 2022 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next up, need approval for a motion for approval of the November 21st minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you very much. That motion passes. At this point in time, if there's any persons wishing to address council on general business or agenda items, now is the time to be heard.
Or anything else.
Or anything else. Going once, going twice. Okey doke. Okay, we'll move on to new business. So we'll start off with finance and general policy. Mr. Troisi.
Thank you. First off, I would like to move to ratify the actions of the borough manager in paying the November 2022 invoices from the general fund totaling $161,741.36. Farmers market totaling $590.50. Payroll account totaling $206,120.37. And the educational service agency totaling $4,824.87.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Therefore, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
Next, I would move to approve the payment of the December 2022 invoices from the general fund totaling $167,460.51. The sanitary sewer maintenance fund totaling $6,477.82. And the bond fund totaling $31,415.78.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
Next, I would move that we pass ordinance number 1,874, adopting the budget for the fiscal year 2023 pursuant to section 501 of the Home Rule Charter of the Borough of Green Tree.
I would second that. I mean, I have a question now that I've seconded it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Question?
Should we modify that to include amendments that I have in front of me now?
That is a good question. Pertaining to
The budget changes.
budget. Right, is that an internal? I think the budget is not, there is not going to be a change in the
There was
budget.
$50,000 added to the sewer fund budget to cover one of the expenses outlined in the engineer's memo.
Yeah, there's a,
But it will be published as such, and there's no,
okay, I'm just asking because I didn't know if we had to, from our meeting,
as presented.
it's changed.
Right, there was a reallocation also in the recreation fund, so it's not in the fence per se.
Capital. Right,
Capital, yeah, it's not
but
in
it's
the
not
fence.
affecting the budget per se.
Yeah, it's not affected, it was just put in a different
Reallocation.
category.
Yes.
The stage was the other thing.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second, and any other questions? Okay, we'll move to a roll. Kim, do you have a roll call, please?
Just a comment on the budget?
What's that?
No, you gotta make a
Please.
comment. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just think that we should put something of record. There's no increase in borough taxes. Tax rate's going to be the same. There's no separate waste disposal fee. We pay a lot for waste management, but there's no separate fee for that. It's within the budget. We're not cutting services. We're still getting MRTSA for $80,000. MRTSA's a good buy. We get the ambulance service for our contribution of $80,000. Volunteer fire department still puts in numerous hours. They're doing well. But we do have 3 big expenditures coming up. The Trumbull Drive Bridge is going to cost several $1 million over the next couple years. Wilson Swimming Pool, we're going to have to decide whether to renovate it or replacement. And then MS4, that's municipal separate storm sewer system. So the M's municipal, the 4 S's are separate storm sewer system. We have to spend over $1 million on storm management in the next couple years. So those 3 things are budgeted for. We just have to keep a close eye on Trumbull Bridge, the swimming pool, and stormwater rates and how we're going to handle that. Thank you. But I think it's a good budget, and I think that Judy, Ms. Miller, and everybody worked very hard on it. So thank you, and Babette.
I think we should also put into record, Ms. Miller, if you could explain, on the surface, it looks like there's a reduction in revenue. If you could explain that.
For the 2023, the general fund no longer includes sewer fund revenue and/or expenditures. So while last year's general fund budget was over 10 million, this year's general fund budget is about 6.4 million, and that's the explanation for that. Actual general fund revenues and expenditures have not changed significantly since last year.
Thank you. That's good. Now, we'll proceed with the roll call. Kim?
Mr. Troisi,
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay,
I guess.
Mr. Panza,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Romanovich,
Yes.
Mr. Tentori.
Yes. I guess, what do we call the I
That's a
guess?
yes.
Okay. Just for clarification for the people at home.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, moving right along. That ordinance passes.
You would've
Thank
passed
you.
that one anyway.
Next, I would like to move that we pass ordinance number 1,875, fixing the real estate tax rate for the fiscal year 2023 and providing discounts and penalties as authorized by law. And the mayor stole my thunder, and noting that this is not an increase from last year.
Second.
Do I have a motion and a second? Any further discussion?
Yeah, I think we should put the millage rate into that motion.
That is perfectly
The
fine.
millage rate
4.83.
6-1.
4.61. Even though it's not increasing, I just think it's proper. If you guys don't mind.
No, it's fine.
That we're setting the rate, but we don't tell anybody what it is.
Well, okay, that's fine.
Is that okay to add?
That's fine. It's documented. It's just making it public. I mean, it's pretty easy to see. Right. Not a problem. Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. And without any further discussion, then Kim, move to a roll call, please.
Mr. Troisi,
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay,
Yes.
Mr. Panza,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Tentori.
Yes. The ordinance passes.
Next, I would move that we adopt resolution number 1,320 to establish the requirements of Act 57, local tax collection law, for the borough tax collector to waive interest, fees, penalties, and other additional charges owed for unpaid real estate taxes due to the failure to receive a real estate tax bill.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, Kim, a roll call, please.
Mr. Troisi,
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay,
Yes.
Mr. Panza,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Romanovich,
Yes.
Mr. Tentori.
Yes. That resolution passes.
Next, I would move that we adopt Resolution Number 1321, authorizing the Borough Manager to execute agreements, contracts, and documents necessary to comply with Ameriserve Trust and Financial Services Company for custodial services for the police pension plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, just some background information. We have a pension committee, independent group made up of 3 people. So the committee decided that was the best approach, just to change the management, the custodial service, so that we'll be able to have a fairly significant reduction in fees. So that was that all about. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, and Kim, roll call, please.
Mr. Troisi,
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay,
Yes.
Mr. Panza,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Romanovich,
Yes.
Mr. Tintori.
Yes. The resolution passes.
Finally, I would move that we adopt Resolution Number 1322, authorizing the Borough Manager to execute agreements, contracts, and documents as required by the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, Engineering, and Construction Management System.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please. Kim?
Mr. Troisi,
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay,
Yes.
Mr. Panza,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Romanovich,
Yes.
Mr. Tintori.
Yes. Resolution passes. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Troisi, we'll move on to infrastructure. Mr. Romanovich?
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. I move that we adopt resolution number 1323, authorizing the submission of a grant application through the PA Small Water and Sewer Grant from the Commonwealth of Financing Authority to be used for rain garden improvements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, we will move to a roll call vote. Kim, please.
Mr. Romanovich,
Yes.
Mr. Troisi,
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay,
Yes.
Mr. Panza,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Tintori.
Yes. Thank you very much. That resolution passes.
I move that we adopt resolution number 1324, authorizing the submission of the H2O PA grant application from the Commonwealth Financing Authority to be used for pollution reduction program stream restoration.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
No, but it looks like in combination of those last two, it's over $1 million worth of grant funding.
Applications.
For application, applying for over
Right.
$1 million in grant
Yes.
application.
And that's
Grant.
in addition to over another $1 million of grant applications that are already in the pipeline, so.
So we are crossing our fingers that we'll get consideration under that to help us. So, having said that, Kim, could you please provide a roll call?
Mr. Romanovich,
Yes.
Mr. Troisi,
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay,
Yes.
Mr. Panza,
Yes.
Mr. Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Tintori.
Yes. Resolution passes.
I move that we award a contract to Swede Construction in the amount of $23,900 for the reconstruction of ADA curb ramps on Green Tree Road in accordance with the Borough Manager's correspondence dated November 23rd, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have just a general question on how the bid is being presented. In the past, we've had information from the other bidders. It appears that Mr. Stanton is just providing one bid of, I believe, 3.
It might have been because it was completed through the COG. Char West actually did all the bidding for us, so maybe,
Okay.
yeah. On those, this is a year 49, this is the year 49 grant application. And it kind of went back and forth a couple times that we got much less than we had applied for, so we had to scale back the scope of work. But then Char West does all the bidding and receiving of bids and summarizing of bids, but then it's presented to Jason for review and completion.
So he doesn't see the bids?
No, he would have received them, but I can ask him for more detail if you need.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
He's saying that it's the low bid, but
It
I'd just
is,
like to see.
yeah.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Motion passes.
I move we amend the December 5th, 2022 council agenda by adding the bid award for the Green Light Go project for traffic signal replacement at Service Route 0121 Green Tree Road with east/west Manila Avenue.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Miller, you just want to give a brief explanation why we just added this?
We just added this because the bids just came in today. Only 2 bids were received. The engineer was able to quickly review them and provide a recommendation. So rather than wait to the January 9th agenda, we wanted to get it taken care of today so that they can get started.
Good, thank you.
Procedurally, do we need to make a motion to amend the agenda first before?
That's what he did just now.
I'm sorry. Okay, that was the motion to amend.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
To
thank you.
amend it, but she was explaining why we were
Okay.
making an amendment to the meeting.
Yeah, one
Okay.
just came in today.
Yes.
So
So,
were all of those bids provided?
well, first off, we're making, the current resolution right now is just to amend the agenda to do the next thing next.
Okay, I understand.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Okay. Part 2.
Right. I move that we authorize the borough manager to execute a contract with Bronder Technical Services Incorporated in the amount of $244,193.63 for the Green Light Go project for traffic signal replacement at Service Route 0121 Green Tree Road with east/west Manila Avenues in accordance with the traffic engineer's correspondence dated December 5th, 2022.
We have a motion. Anyone care to second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on
Yeah,
this?
so there, again, it appears that we don't have all the bids in front of us.
I can give them to you.
But it also doesn't appear that he's, having the low bid, so it is the low bid amount.
Significantly lower,
Okay.
like,
Yeah, I think that would just be nice to have all the
absolutely,
detail.
yeah. Today, kind of, just to get it.
I think we're trying to just expedite this so it didn't delay us.
Well, the other one didn't have it either, so just
Yeah,
moving
we
forward,
can
if
do
you can
that.
provide all
I-
the information.
That's perfectly fine. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. The motion carries. Thank you very much. We move on to planning and zoning. Mr. Ray.
Yeah, this is an annual housekeeping ordinance number 1876. I move that we pass ordinance number 1876, approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances and resolutions as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Green Tree in the form of supplement number 17.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on this ordinance. Any further discussion? If not, Kim, I need a roll call.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Romanovich?
Yes.
Mr. Troisi?
Yes.
Mr. Lindsay?
Yes.
Mr. Panza?
Yes.
Mr. Titori?
Yes, the ordinance passes. We'll move on to recreation programming and community welfare. Mr. Panza.
Thank you. After conducting interviews, I would like to make a motion that we appoint Dan Gall and C.J. Martorella to the Recreation and Community Activities Board for a 3-year term to expire March the 1st, 2025.
Second.
Why,
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Are we doing these early
are we
again?
doing, no, it'd be late, wouldn't it?
No, they've been vacant for quite some time.
Yeah.
They're not
Oh, really?
replacements, yeah.
Oh, so they're filling unexpired
Yes.
terms?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can't start the 3-year term today?
Yeah, can go. She's
Yeah.
just keeping, the term expiration is just to keep it on schedule for staggered expirations.
Oh, I see, okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to the mayor's report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I have mayor's office hours on Saturday, January 21st, from 9 o'clock to 11:30 here in the Borough Building. The chief is always there also, so if you want to speak with myself or the chief, we'll be there on January 21st. The other thing would be the police Christmas card contest. This was the second year. Officer Bocci, he organizes that. The fourth graders at both of our elementary schools, Aiken Elementary and Guardian Academy, Guardian Angel Academy, they draw proposals for Christmas cards, then they select the best one, and the police department actually makes Christmas cards. I received one in the mail the other day, and hopefully some other people are on the list to get these Christmas cards. But in any event, on Light Up Night, which was last Saturday, it was a great attendance. I think almost everyone here I saw on council came. Ryan Bocci gave the winner, was David Proch, P-R-O-C-H. He won the contest, and he won a $50 gift certificate and several other prizes. So it's a very nice Christmas card, and it will be displayed at Brutus Monroe. Christopher Allen helped sponsors that contest, and he had a big blow-up of the card, the winner. The second place was Emma. I forget Emma's last name. I should have written it down, but she received a $25 gift certificate. But Kim, if you could look that up to put in the minutes, Emma, another fourth grader. So that's a great contest that the police department runs, so hopefully they continue to do that in the future. We have a new unmarked police car was placed in service. If you want to find out what the make is, just speed along Green Tree Road and you'll find out what the make of that new unmarked police car is. Officers Monzalewski and Gavin are scheduled to attend a 2-day active shooter response training given by SHACOG this week. So we do take this active shooting training very seriously, and the officers go on staggered basis, but we do have 2 attending this week. As I indicated, Light Up Night, I'd like to thank Jen Matthey and the Public Works Department. It went off very well. It was great attendance. The weather held up fairly well. We're still in the process of hiring 2 new police officers due to the retirement of Officer Kern. We're waiting for the Civil Service Commission. There were a couple kinks in them certifying 3 people to council to select someone. So hopefully we can do that early next year. The Civil Service will recommend 3 people. The borough and the police department, police union are still working on a police contract for a number of years. Those negotiations are continuing. We're hoping to reach an agreement without arbitration. I'm sure the police union is hoping the same. In regard to, I noticed that Ms. Barron wasn't able to make it, so it might be in her report about the Rook stairs. They're replacing the stairs in Rook. I think that's coming up pretty shortly.
We're not replacing them, Mayor, we're removing them.
No, they're being removed.
Removing them, I'm sorry. Thank you. Remove, replace, it both starts with an R, but they're removing them, not replacing them. So that's going to happen in the very near future. And then just in the budget, I just noticed one thing. There's no increase in salary for the mayor, but I guess maybe next budget. Thank you. End of my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Now we'll go to committee reports. Mr. Troisi?
Thank you. Hey, if you heard, we're not raising taxes and the rate the same as the old rate, 4.61. No, I do have something a little bit outside of finance and general policy, as we discussed, I believe, at our last meeting. We talked about emergency management plans and coordinator. I just wanted to kind of update council as well as everybody else that I have reached out to the COG. They're currently been working with Ms. Miller, and they're currently putting out a survey so we can get a general idea on what other communities are doing with respect to their plans and the position of coordinator. I'll also be sharing that information with the Community Welfare Committee as well, so that we can address that issue as best we can. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Troisi. Moving on to infrastructure, Mr. Romanovich.
I have no report at this time, Mr.
Thank you very
President.
much. Planning and zoning, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, spoke to Planning Commission Chair a couple of weeks ago. She reported that comprehensive plan should be completed around second or third quarter of 2023. The zoning hearing board had a hearing last month, and they approved a variance for a side yard offset for swimming pool on Arla. And the 17 Crestmont license agreement, Ms. Miller is still in communication with the resident and negotiating that agreement. And then I just have a question. Last month, I asked if we were going to think about a strategy for leveraging all the peer review feedback that we got from DCED. I was wondering if there's been any movement on that.
Not yet. Probably next year. Try to figure out what we would want to do. Because there are recommendations. We'll have to just go over them and see if any or all or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not asking what recommendations we're considering. I'm just wondering what is the plan to at least move forward with taking those under
Well, we
consideration.
first move forward by reviewing them, and we'll have to decide
Well, who's-
what else we did. We all have a copy of them to review, so.
Yeah, I could review it at home
Right.
and listen to people talk
Right.
about the review, but what is the plan? I don't want to sit on it for months and months and months when there's some good stuff in there that we can use to improve the borough operations. So
Certainly.
I just would like to see a plan. Is there a subcommittee that we should form? Is it under finance and general policy? What is the plan?
In regard to
I think at this point,
There's
I think
no
we're kind
plan.
of open to suggestions. Well, I would think the first thing would be under committees if it fits, but if not, we could.
Well, let's talk about it.
So we could do that.
In regard to the police plan, I've been in touch with Mr. Lindsay. We've been in touch. I prepared a 4-page outline, went through it, bullet points, and all the recommendations. They weren't all in one place. I went through the whole report, have a 4-page, forwarded on to Mr. Lindsay. So he's going to have, I don't want to speak for him, but he's going to have a public safety
You
committee.
do every other meeting.
Okay, so nothing changed in this meeting. So we're going to have, Mr. Lindsay's going to have a public safety committee meeting and go through it. I've also gotten input already from the chief. The chief went through it and has made some comments. I received that today, so I will share that with Mr. Lindsay and the public safety committee. But I think that at least for the police peer review, I think that we have a plan to look at that and review that through the Public Safety Committee.
Yeah, I think most likely we would probably try to do the same with the general report we got back could go through finance and general policy, and then certainly possibly look at the public works same way.
And I will say, some of the minor suggestions, I've already done some things with it. Like, for instance, we have a meeting on the 21st of December with our safety representative from the insurance company, because there was, a suggestion just to go through the public works, the actual facility itself. There were some suggestions there, so we'll have somebody come out and take a look at that. I know Babette and I have worked out a couple things on the finance end of it. So some of the more minor things that I would find it hard to believe that council would have any objection. I've gone ahead and just tried to move forward with a couple of the more minor things.
Yeah.
It's basically, I'm saying we haven't done it yet, but there's
Yeah.
process, there's
And the-
reviews in place, and at some point we could,
I just want to know what that some point is. I don't want just to be another
well,
report that
can't
sits
do
on
it
the
right now.
shelf.
But I would say first of the year, we can start tying together a lot of the discussion that's been had.
Yeah,
And there's-
mine was obvious, for our committee to handle. The other ones are kind of, there's nobody in charge of public works and things of that nature. So I think what he's asking is, maybe you should appoint, not even if it's a standing committee, an ad hoc committee, put 3 council people together to review the other peer reviews.
And
That's
then
why I
the-
could probably do that.
And then the only other thing I'd suggest is just to let me know if you would like a presentation by any of the
Yeah.
peers. 'Cause
I think there were
might get
2
that
left
scheduled.
that we did not have
Yes.
any response on yet for the admin plan, as well as the public works plan.
Yeah.
So those are some presentations that might be coming up in the near future.
And then while we're talking about that, because I would appreciate those, I found it very valuable for the police reviewer to present his plan. Ms. Dearson, could you provide some clarification on what we can and can't say during those reviews, so that we're not deliberating? I think it's a really valuable opportunity for us to engage with that reviewer, to ask questions, and dig deeper into some of the recommendations that they provided.
Sure, and just to clarify, the presentation that was done by the peer reviewer was done at a meeting that was not a public meeting. One of the exceptions under the Sunshine Law is an informational session does not need to be a public meeting. A public meeting is when there's deliberation on council business. And so my recommendation was, you don't want to have deliberation, you don't want to have discussion. It should be, information coming from your peer reviewer to you. It was, one of my colleagues was describing it interestingly, with a visual. We have spokes on if you have a wheel with spokes, your person presenting is in the middle, council members are all at the end of a spoke. It can all go this way. All the information can go towards the center, right? It can go in and out of those spokes. It just can't go around the wheel.
Right.
So, because you just don't want to have that deliberation, because that's something that happens in public.
Great.
Yeah, which is why we want to have committees review them and
Yep.
make recommendations at that point.
Exactly. So first of the year, we could at least start talking about
Sure.
what those committees look like.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of jumping ahead to my report, but, I was just going to call
You're
public
up in a
safety
minute.
meeting,
Yeah,
and, with the mayor and the chief, and
Sure.
drill down on it, and hopefully create an action plan and recommendations. And
basically our priorities have been worrying about the budget, we'd move on to some other things. And then
Understand.
first of the year, yeah, we had the review on the police, now we got the other two, so
Great.
we'll definitely get there.
I'll keep asking about it.
Go ahead. That's what we needed to keep us on track.
This is my report. That's the end of my report, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ray. Ms. Barron is not with us today. Mr. Lindsay, anything on public safety?
somebody from her committee want to say anything?
Or Judy, do you have anything?
In her place? If you guys aren't working on anything, then, I just put it on her.
I can
Judy,
let you know that
pretty
the
much.
Wilson Wall is in progress. Unfortunately, the crews suffered some delays due to rain, just rainy weather in general. Fortunately, kind of filled the trench. Kerry did his best to get some pumps over there to try to pump it out, so they keep working. Unfortunately, some of the ground around it was so saturated. So there have been delays, but they continue to work every nice day, and, as we can make available with limited crew. So progress is definitely being made on the wall. So other than that, I think.
Are you going to give a website update in your report? Or should that kind of fall?
I can do that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Mr. Lindsay,
I'm up now. I don't have nothing left to give.
public safety? Nothing? Okay.
Well, I was going to talk about the peer review.
Well, you can.
There's a lot of things going on, none of which they're coming to any, as all you guys know, there's a lot of things going on with the police, and
Indeed.
we're still waiting on dates of when our new pumper's coming for the fire company, and there's a lot of things going on, but nothing I can report to as an update at this point, other than what the mayor has already spoken about, and then the peer review thing. So
Just a ballpark on the next vehicle,
I don't have a clue. That's what I'm saying. I don't have an update.
just within the next year or two, or?
It's got to be this year. I
That's
mean,
what
we
I'm-
ordered it the end of last year.
Like summer, like spring,
Yeah.
spring.
Okay. All right.
But like I said, there's a lot going on. Nothing I can give you an update on at this point.
No problem.
The hirings and the contract and all the other stuff you guys are aware of. So
No problem. Thank you.
that is the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Recreation Programming and Community Welfare, Mr. Panza.
Thank you. As everyone knows, what a great success Light Up Night was on Saturday, because I believe everyone on council did attend Light Up Night. And I was really surprised that how many people there actually was there. I mean, the crowd was extremely large. Did we only advertise on the website in the newsletter, or was there
There's signs in the borough.
in the signs? Wow. It was so well attended. It ran, I mean, exceptionally well. That's why we have to give credit to our Recreation and Community Activities Board. They did an excellent job, Jen and the entire board, and I'm glad we got you some additional help here going on. So just thank you for doing such a great job with that. And then after this meeting adjourns, I am calling a committee meeting of my committee to go over a few items. But Jim, I would also like to invite you for the informational part of the meeting, if you wanted to share what you wanted. We're going to have an information meeting only prior to the committee meeting.
Who's the center of the wheel?
We got to get a wheel.
Jim wanted to share some
Well, I
information.
don't have anything set right now.
Oh, okay.
What I will do is, what's going to happen is the COG's going to get the survey out, hopefully by the next COG meeting
Okay.
in a couple of weeks. Once the survey goes out and comes back, then we'll pull all the surveys together, and I'll send them to you. You can distribute them to your
Okay,
committee.
Then there will be
and
no
then-
need for the informational part of the meeting prior to the committee meeting after the adjournment of this meeting. And that is all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Panzer. Move on to the president's report, but is there, I don't mean, just reopen this, do we have a COG report? Is there a COG report? Because we didn't really, did we really?
Well-
Anything in general, last couple of months, that's all? No
You
pressure.
know, off the top of my head, I really couldn't lay it out fairly. I just
That's okay.
took on this position as being the COG representative recently.
That's
so,
why I just gave you the
I
opportunity.
didn't know we were still doing a COG report, and it doesn't show
Well,
up on the agenda. So
No pressure.
Next time.
Just wondered if you pulled anything out. Okay, we'll move to the president's report. I have a few things. Chief, if my thunder gets stolen, can you arrest somebody for having a stolen thunder? Not a stolen thunder? So anyhow, I don't want to repeat everything, but I did want to also say we were very happy to pass the budget with no increase in real estate. Everybody's worked hard on this year, so we're glad to bring it back to our citizens and ourselves that we've held the line and done a really good job. So I just want to reiterate what others have said. And to talk a little bit about Light Up Night, it was a very great turnout. The estimates were over 500 people, which was supposedly our biggest turnout in a while. Of course, we've had COVID the last 2 years, so this was a nice welcome surge in people to show up. I think they went through 350 hot dogs in like a half hour or something, which is pretty impressive. That's how good it was. Plus our vendors, they did a great job, I think. Opportunities for the kids, plus the police card that made it really nice, added a lot of variety. And of course, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, they're so good, they already schedule it for us every year, that Mr. and Mrs. Claus. It's amazing how we do that. A couple more things. On December 18th, the Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus will be coming through the borough, so make sure you check that out Sunday. If you hear the horns and the sounds, make sure you come out and get a special treat from Santa. You can pick up a lot of this information on our website and in the newsletter. Also, the house decorating contest is in full swing. I think that's going to be over in a week, I believe. I don't know the exact dates, but we have I think we have 3 awards, Griswold, traditional, and then another award. So some pretty nice prizes. So if you haven't already signed up for it, please do that hopefully in the next week or so. And then the other contest we got going is the snowman contest. So if you want to buy your own snow and put it on your front lawn before it snows, you can get a head start. I think that doesn't become judged till March, so you have time. So you can plan that accordingly. So we're way up to speed on the snowman contest. I think that's just about it, and we will, just to say that we, Mr. Wright, we hopefully will be planning to get into all those reports as soon as the new year. It's going to be some pretty information to digest, and hopefully we can get some good feedback and some good suggestions and ideas moving forward in the borough. And that's really about it. We'll wish everyone a wonderful Happy New Year and a wonderful Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon. And we'll move to the manager's report. Ms. Miller.
So the website is coming along very well. I would say we're probably at about the 80% mark. A lot of it is just because we were unable to convert the old website to the new website. So this new website, every single page is being rewritten. It'll be all new photographs, maybe with the exception of some council photos. Did you get one? Oh, and
Shannon's not here, so maybe.
oh, that's right, okay. Next month, prior to council meeting, we'll take a picture up here for the website, just so we have a good updated website. So, yeah, again, it's taking a little bit longer than we thought, but as many of you know, Green Tree has a really small staff. Everybody has a lot of responsibilities, so this is just a project kind of layered on top of those responsibilities. But Wendy and Kim have done a really great job of keeping up with it, and like I said, just kind of going through and rewriting every single page. So that's it's been time consuming, definitely a little behind the schedule I would have hoped for, but I'd rather have it go out accurate and thorough than kind of just thrown together. So hopefully by the beginning of the year, it'll be a lofty goal for us to get it done. Secondly, I just want to hopefully nobody needs them, but should you need one rather than buy them, tomorrow we will get another box of COVID tests. So if anybody would need one, you're welcome to stop by the Borough Building and grab one for free rather than go to the store and buy one. And that's really all I have, other than wishing everybody a really happy holiday season, and hopefully everybody can get their 2023 off to a healthy and happy start.
Yes.
Yes, just one question. Kim, could you tell us how many people watched tonight by video? I'm just curious.
We have 9 people on tonight.
Okay, thank you.
I have one thing for
Yes,
you, Adjourn.
Mr.
Ms. Miller, I
Lindsay.
forgot to ask on the police peer review, has that been made public yet?
If anybody wants it, we haven't posted any of them, but if somebody asks for it, they can
Well,
have
it's just
it.
that one, because we had the review with the chief. I figured we were done with-
Once, I made them public once council had them,
You did,
yes.
but we don't post them. We just
I don't
have them
post them.
available for
If anybody
requests.
asks, if somebody would do a right to know for it, I would give it to
They're
them.
all available now?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Anything else? Hello, Mr. Panza.
Yes. Well, if Reno's done, I would like to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. See you
I'll
soon.
second it, Kim.